When we start learning a new language, we jump straight into grammar, try to memorize hundreds of words, and then get frustrated when we still can't speak or understand native speakers. Today, I want to talk about the one skill that can make your learning way more effective. Honestly, I think this is the skill you should start with when you are learning any new language. And that skill is listening. And I know what you're thinking, but what about speaking? Isn't that the goal? Yeah, I get it. There's a lot of advice online, skip grammar, start speaking right away. And yeah, guys, I agree, don't get stuck on grammar, start using words and structures you learn immediately. But here is the thing, you can't speak what you don't understand. Listening is the foundation. If you can't understand what you hear, all the other skills, speaking, reading, even writing, will naturally follow. And let's be honest, we don't have 8 hours a day to study English. That's why it's all about making the most of the time you have. I actually made a separate video about 10 fun ways to practice listening. But today, I want to share 5 strategic ways to use it so it improves your speaking and builds your vocabulary. That's the difference between just hearing English and actually understanding and using it. But before we continue, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. So let's get started. And the first tip is listen intentionally. Don't get me wrong, background listening is great. It works when you're cooking or cleaning, for example. But if you want to make listening the bridge to fluency, you need to take it to the next level. That's why I highly recommend to listen intentionally. And it means not just having something playing in the background. I'm sure you've spent hours listening to your favorite songs, shows, or videos, and you're still asking, why can't I use these phrases myself? Or why do I understand the general meaning but freeze on advanced or conversational expressions? It's because you don't actually focus on understanding. So pick short, manageable pieces and really pay attention. Ask yourself, what words or phrases do I recognize? Can I summarize what I just heard in my own words? And choosing the right content is key. Pick material you actually enjoy. That way your brain stays engaged. Make sure it's mostly understandable, but a little bit challenging, right at your level. Next time you put on a video, don't just watch it with half attention. Listen, really hear it. Start with 1 minute, then gradually increase your focus time. For example, I love stretching, and I often watch workouts in English on YouTube. But one day when I had to teach myself, I thought, wait, have I actually been listening closely to the trainers? So I started paying attention not only to the exercises, but also to the words, the rhythm, the intonation. And guess what? It helped me not just understand, but also use that vocabulary in my own teaching practice. All right, tip number 2. Write down words and phrases. You can do this along the way or pause and note words and expressions. Let me quickly show you how it works. For example, let's watch a short TED clip from Julian's Treasure's talk, 5 Ways to Listen Better. I'll play just a few seconds and we'll take notes together.
We are losing our listening. We spend roughly 60% of our communication time listening. But we're not very good at it. We retain just 25% of what we hear. Now, not you, not this talk, but that is generally true.
Let's listen closely.
We are losing our listening.
All right, the first phrase, we're losing our listening. I'm writing down the word lose. So it's not just about winning or losing. It can also mean to stop having something. For example, I don't want to lose my keys. I don't want to lose my keys, all right? Next line.
We spend roughly 60% of our communication time listening.
All right. We spend roughly 60% of our communication time listening.
But we're not very good at it.
But we're not very good at it. All right, here I'm writing down word roughly. Roughly. It means about, approximately. For example, there were roughly 80 people at the party. And then we're not very good at it. I'll write good at. This is a super useful phrase. For example, I'm good at cooking. Guys, what are you good at? Let me know in the comments.
We spend roughly 60% of our communication time listening, but we're not very good at it. We retain just 25% of what we hear. Now, not you, not this talk, but that is generally true.
Next one, we retain just 25% of what we hear. Now, not you, not this talk, but that's generally true. A key word here is retain. Retain. It means to remember or hold onto something in your memory. For example, I can't retain song lyrics. All right, I can't retain song lyrics. And another one, generally. Generally, it means usually, in most cases. For example, I generally wake up at 7. I generally wake up at 7. Guys, what time do you usually wake up? Do you generally wake up? See how it works? You're not just hearing the words. You're breaking them down, writing them, and immediately making examples. When you review them later, you'll remember more and actually start using what you heard. And that leads us to the next tip. Do weekly recaps. This is where you turn listening into actual speaking. Start by recording a 1-minute summary at the end of each week. Talk about what you learned, what phrases caught your attention, and even how you felt while listening. Don't just list random words, put them into context. For example, instead of saying, I learned that word, use it in a sentence. For example, I learned the phrase on the same page and used it when talking about my project at work. Here is how to make it even more effective. Review your notes from the week. Pick 3-5 key phrases that you want to actively use. Speak them out loud, making short stories or examples around them. Over time, week by week, you'll notice your progress. Phrases start coming out naturally in your speaking, and grammar patterns feel easier. This simple weekly habit transforms passive listening into active English. Tip number 4, record voice messages for yourself. This is what I mentioned in the previous point, but here you train listening and catch your own mistakes. Just use the recorder on your phone and talk about anything. You can even send voice messages to your friends, but make sure to listen back and take notes. Hearing your own voice improves pronunciation, intonation, and confidence. When I was preparing for a Chinese oral exam, I recorded myself every day. It was like having my own podcast. I noticed mistakes and got much better at speaking. Another fun trick, create fake interviews. Pretend you're a podcast guest, answering questions about your hobbies or dreams. Honestly, this is one of my favorite activities for building fluency. Here is why it works. Listening to others is great, but when you start making your own sentences and hear yourself say them, your brain links understanding with speaking. That link is what really helps you become fluent. Become fluent, oh la la. Tip number 5, combine listening with reading. Books are a game changer when it comes to language learning. Audiobooks are amazing because they do so much at once. You train your listening, pick up vocabulary in context, and get used to different accents. And if you repeat after the narrator, you get instant practice with pronunciation and intonation. You can do this with books you already love, so it doesn't feel like studying. It feels like rereading a favorite story, just in English. And guys, don't underestimate physical books. A lot of learners think paper books are just boring textbooks and skip them. But I promise, combining listening with reading will surprise you. It helps you see words clearly, improves spelling, and shows you sentence structure. Here is how to do it. Listen while following along with the text. Your eyes see the words, your ears hear how they are pronounced, and your brain puts it all together. It also keeps you focused It's much harder to daydream when both your eyes and ears are working. And here's a bonus tip for you. Mix listening with movement. We like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. We like to move it. Hey. Move your body while listening. Walk, stretch, or even dance while playing English podcasts or songs. Why it works? Physical activity actually boosts focus and memory. Studies show that moving while learning helps your brain form stronger connections. So instead of sitting still and struggling, you're literally learning on the move. And there you have it, 6 tips to use listening to improve all aspects of your English. Even if you start using just one of these strategies consistently, I promise you'll notice a real difference. Now I want to hear from you. Which tip are you going to try first? Or do you already have a favorite way to practice listening? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.